What's up, YouTube? Smells like Vin here. And, yeah. It has been a while since I uploaded a video of me reviewing something. And it's been a while since I went, in this area. I haven't, done a review here in a really long time, so it's good to be back. And, first I'd like to say thank you for everyone who has been watching and commenting on, my band videos. I appreciate it very much. My band, Corey and Anthony, have been having a great time making the jams and uploading them, and I just want to let you guys know that I really appreciate you guys watching. So I'm going to be continuing my Classic Sabbath series today. And I have a day off. It's Thursday. It's a Jewish holiday, and I forget what the name of it is. But even though I'm not Jewish, I get off of school. So yeah. Volume 4 by Black Sabbath, released 1972. Now, I'm very tired, by the way, so excuse me if I'm not as clear-headed as I like to think I usually am. Volume 4 is a very interesting Black Sabbath album, because the era that the band was in was the whole drug thing. Black Sabbath, all of them were fucked up on drugs. All of them were. Specifically, cocaine. Now, originally the title of this album was going to be Snowblind, but the record company, being the assholes that they were, the record company really fucked over Black Sabbath a lot. They were like, hell no, come up with another name, so they just came up with Volume 4. And then later on, Bill Ward actually said that it was a really stupid title. I don't think it's a stupid title, I just think it's kind of weird that they named it that, but that's okay. Who cares about the title? So the band was having a very hard time writing things. But you wouldn't be able to tell by listening to this album, because I fucking love this album. And it's an album that is very, very polarizing to fans. I mean, if you take just on YouTube 2 music reviewers, Maiden, Slave, and Cover Killer Nation just thinks it's okay. We said there's some strong moments on it, but overall it's just kind of it's a little less in their discography. It's a weaker album. And Maiden, Slave just straight didn't like it. He said there were some good songs, but he wasn't really digging it. And that's fine, obviously. But I love this album. I really, really like this album. And I just think there's a lot of things that people tend to overlook about it or just not mention when I read or watch reviews of the album. Is my face, like, too bright? I'm looking at the camera and I feel like my face is like, I'm like a ghost. I'm pretty white anyway, but whatever. Anyway, so sorry if the lighting's a little fucked up. Okay, well, there's a lot to talk about. So the first thing, let's talk about the production. The production on this album is awesome. Okay, it's amazing. It is thick when it needs to be thick, but it is very clean when it needs to be clean. I mean, for example, you take a song like Under the Sun, which, Jesus Christ, the opening riff to that song is just one of the most crushing riffs I have ever heard, ever. And it was written in the early 70s, so it just shows, goes to show how fucking awesome Tony Iommi is. So, the guitar tone on this record is just this sludgy fucking... It's just so heavy and it's so dense and thick, and it takes on a different sound than Master of Reality. And the production on the drums is really good. You get that that kind of snappy snare tone by Bill Ward. The vocals are mixed fantastically, and again, I'll talk more about all the aspects of the sound when I get to the atmosphere of the record, which I think coincides really well. My only issue with the production is Geezer. He's not as brought out as he was on the previous records. You can still hear him. He's still up there. But Master of Reality, to me, is the last album where you can really, really hear Geezer really, really full on. Again, it's not that you can't hear him. You just can't hear him as much. And again, you guys know how much I love Geezer Butler as a bass player. So, that's a bit disappointing to me. But again, it's not like he's completely phased out. You can still hear him. It's just not as right up in your face as it was on Master of Reality and Paranoid. Now, I think the thing that really makes this album interesting is the fact that the band started to experiment with their sound. For example, you get a song like Changes, which, yes, the band did do soft songs before, but nothing like this. This was a straight piano ballad with extremely passionate vocals and sad lyrics. Now, what do I think of the song? It's one of those songs where I definitely enjoy it, but I usually don't listen to it that much, and you guys know me, I hope by now. It's not because, well, it's a soft song and anything that's soft is gay and Sabbath needs to be, because that's bullshit. There's another soft song on this album that I absolutely fucking love, Planet Caravan off of Paranoid, Solitude, the stuff that's going to be on Sabbath Place. I love that shit. Sabbath are great at it, but this song in particular is just, to me, it comes off as a little too generic, I think. It just sounds really un-Sabbath-like, and it still is an enjoyable song that I'll listen to every here and again. But, it's not a song that I listen to all that often. But again, it's still a pretty cool song. And then you get really fucking experimental shit like FX. And FX, in my opinion, is like a really useless song, and I hate to say that, but it's basically 1 minute, like 1.5 minutes of feedback from Tony. Now, I love feedback, and I think feedback sounds really cool, and I think bands do really interesting stuff with it. But it's kind of a wasted opportunity. The feedback is really nothing interesting. It's kind of just, it just kind of sounds like, it just sounds like he's like lightly hitting the guitar neck against the amp. It doesn't really sound like anything. And it just kind of does that for like 1.5 minutes, and it doesn't really do much with the album, so it's kind of makes you question why they really put that in there. But again, they were on drugs, so you don't know. But the thing that I love about this record, besides all the experimentation and all that, is the atmosphere that the record creates. This album has a very sad, very reflective, cerebral, and dreamy kind of atmosphere. It's something that nobody really mentions, I feel like, when they talk about this album. I mean, you take a song like Wheels of Confusion, where the lyrics seem to be about growing up and being extremely carefree. You never have any fears about anything. You were really innocent and always happy. And then as you get older, you realize that life isn't exactly all about happiness, and you kind of start to come to the harsh reality that life isn't all fun and games, and the sadness of looking back to your youth and wishing that you can kind of be carefree again. And it's delivered in a really, really sad kind of cerebral song. Now, it's heavy as fuck. The riff is amazing, but the intro sounds very, like, emotional, and Ozzy's vocals really just hit a peak here. I think he sounds amazing on this record. His vocals just sound so heartfelt, and with the big drawn-out notes, and it has a lot of reverb on them, and it's awesome. It gives off a vibe that's very powerful. A song like Tomorrow's Dream, again, very reflective and sad. very dreamy, super nut. Or super nut. This song is one of the most powerful songs I've ever heard in my whole entire life. And by that I mean sonically. I mean, excuse me, this song is so heavy and driving. Tony's riff, he's like, how did he come up with a riff like that? It's one of the most fantastic fucking riffs I've ever heard. It's so sick. And the way he cuts it off, I don't know if you notice it, but the and then he does that really low tone, and then he gets a higher riff. But the way he cuts off the higher part, it's like he kind of holds the note and bends it, and then just launches into the heavier, thicker variety or version of the riff, and it's so awesome. It just takes you back, like, holy fuck. The drums, Bill Waters just beating the fuck out of the drums. Just, there's this part where he employs a flam, and the way he does it goes and he just smacks the snare drum with such emphasis and such focus, and it brings the snare drum so ahead, and you hear just this blah, like he just fucks the snare up with the sticks, and it's like this barbaric attack on the drums. Bill Ward is just a fucking monster, and this song really proves it. And Ozzy's vocals, again, so powerful and loud. The lyrics about stepping on the moon and going into the future and ripping out people, it's fucking insane. There's a line that I love, the very last verse, that really isn't really a chorus, it's kind of just verse, I guess. I'm not really great at structures of songs, but, don't need religion, don't need no friends, got all I want and I don't need to pretend. Don't try to reach me cause I'll tear out your mind, I've seen the future and I've left it behind. I love that line, it's so fucking cool, and it's so Black Sabbath, you know. So, amazing song, has a drum solo by Bill Ward. Well, it's kind of just the main beat played over and over again, but you get to hear the beat more brought out, and it sounds great. So it's not so much a solo. So that's just one of the highlights of the album. Snowblind, which was originally supposed to be the title of the album, like I said, is a prime example of this dreamy, cerebral, kind of sad nature. And this is the thing I love about this band. They wrote about real things. They were addicted to drugs. What did they write about? Being addicted to drugs. Snowblind, awesome riff, great vocal performance, but the real highlight for me is, I think, around the 1 minute and 35 second mark. I believe that's the exact point where it happens. The riff goes and then it gets really eerie. It goes boom, 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 and it hits this really sad, like, whoa, kind of downer moment, and then it just keeps going down and down, and then Ozzy, you know, my eyes are blind, but I can see. That really kind of sad lyric theme is really brought out by that moment in the song, and it is extremely powerful, and every time I listen to it, I'm just taken aback. You know, vocally, Ozzy is just at the top of his game here. The drums are great. Bill Ward has a lot of great cymbal play. He hits as the riff is going, it's very very groove-orientated song. He's hitting the bell of the cymbal, and then as the riff is about to resolve into a heavier riff, he starts, and he taught me that technique, and I've learned it just by listening to the band, and I employ it all the time. If you listen to me drumming with my band, you'll hear it. You know, he hits the bell of the cymbal, and then slowly goes down on the cymbal, so ding, ding, and it makes the cymbal sound like it's opening up slowly, and it's a really cool effect, and it really gives a lot of emphasis on the cymbals and the riff itself. So genius, fucking drumming by Bill Ward. I love Bill Ward, amazing. So, and then it has a breakdown. It gets faster, like a lot of Sabbath songs do. And yeah, Cornucopia is amazing, or Cornucopia. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Cornucopia. And then there's some more experimentation with Laguna Sunrise. And Laguna Sunrise is an acoustic piece by Tony Iommi, and it's awesome. It's very relaxing, very nice. Has a very woodsy kind of feel. Maybe that's just me. Laguna Sunrise. It's really a very, very nice track to kind of bring you down after just getting punched in the face by the riffs and the drumming and all that. But it definitely is a really nice track. A little long, I think. It kind of does the same thing for like 4 minutes. But again, I like it a lot and I almost never skip it. I love it. And then you got a shorter track in the form of St. Vitus Dance. Sound familiar? The band St. Vitus got their name from this song. And I love St. Vitus, and I do plan on reviewing them one of these days. And it's a great song. Very, very heavy, but again, a bit more upbeat compared to some of the other stuff that the band was doing on the record. And then you get Under the Sun, which, like I said, is just such a sludgy, awesome song that talks about not wanting people to tell you what to do and wanting to just live your own life and have people just kind of leave you alone, you know, as a classic Sabbath theme, I would think by now. The flow of the record is great. No song feels out of place except, like I said, FX is kind of useless. It even changes. It fits on the record. Because the record is as cerebral and is as kind of dark as it is, I feel like changes does fit, although it may not have fit on like Master Reality or something. So yeah, I love this album. I think it is a classic Sabbath record. I think it's one of the most unique Sabbath records because no other Sabbath record sounds like it. It has, and that's what I love about all of Black Sabbath's records, especially during this time. Each one has a different atmosphere, a different feeling, a different vibe that sets it apart from the rest. And each album gives a different texture or flavor to the band's sound, which I love so much. And this album is just more progression. It's just a different take on this classic sound. I love it. I think it's amazing. And there's very little wrong with it. So, I don't even really give ratings in all my videos, but if I remember, sometimes I do. But I think I'm going to stop giving ratings because it really doesn't fucking matter. 9.5. I love the sound. I think it's amazing. It's a Sabbath classic. And the people who don't like it, maybe try to give it another listen. Not saying you have to like it, but maybe sit down and really give yourself to the record and maybe try to look past some things you didn't like about it. And I think you might find that it's a pretty strong record. But it's just my opinion. Everyone's free to have their own opinion. So, I love the sound. I'm rambling. I'm tired. And I'm going to go fucking veg out. I'll see you guys next time. And thanks for watching.